everyone, today we're going to be reviewing the heroic legend of Arslan, or in the Japanese, Arslan Senki. So, without further ado, Yashashin! Arslan Senki is based in kind of like a Middle East-ish society, which I thought was interesting because usually it's like the medieval England-ish or like feudal Japan for like the kind of historical fantasy. Arslan is your main character. He's the crown prince of the kingdom of Pars, and at the beginning of the anime, Pars is kind of at war with this other country called Lusitania, and some prisoners are brought back to the capital of Pars kind of as like to be slaves and kind of be like, yeah, we caught some people and stuff. And so they're kind of like showing them off, and Arslan wants to go talk to them, kind of be like, oh, what's it like over there in that country? One of the slaves like breaks out and like kidnaps him and takes him hostage, and so like they're running through the city, and Arslan's trying to like keep up because he's kind of being dragged along, and he kind of learns that this guy is completely different than himself, and it kind of like gives his world a bit of a kind of like shakes it up a little bit, and so he's kind of like, whoa, there's not like people, not everybody like believes what I believe, because this guy believes in like a completely different religion, completely different mindset. And anyway, the slave gets away, and Arslan is rescued, and the slave's kind of like, I'll be back for my countrymen, and he just runs off. The next 3 years are a peaceful time for the kingdom of Pars, but when Arslan turns 14, Lusitania invades Pars again, and Arslan has to go out on his maiden battle. The country of Pars, their cavalry is like top notch, like you do not mess with these guys, and so they're pretty confident that they're going to win this battle, but one of their generals defects to the other sides, and that completely throws a monkey wrench in everybody's plans. In the resulting chaos, Arslan almost dies, but he gets rescued by the best warrior of Pars, this guy named Daryun, and together they kind of like regroup, and I guess the whole anime is kind of about them like trying to retake back the kingdom of Pars, with the help of a few others, of course. Arslan is kind, and he's gentle, and he's kind of naive, because he wants to like believe the best out of everybody, but he has a good heart, and he's pretty smart when he wants to be. Daryun acts not only as Arslan's bodyguard, but as his friend, and kind of like a big brother figure. Narcissus is like this character that they meet pretty early on. He was a courtier in Arslan's father's court before he got banished because he had some radical ideas about slavery. He has this great mind for like strategy and stuff, and that really helps out their group. Like if they didn't have Narcissus, they'd probably die. Then Narcissus has this kind of a manservant type guy. He's about Arslan's age, and his name is Ilham, and he's pretty resourceful. Like they send him out to do kind of espionage, and he cooks and just does everything. There's a whole bunch of other characters in their group, and then there's enemies, and just like all these wide spread of characters. One thing I didn't like was at the beginning, they introduced like a whole lot of characters, especially all the generals from the country of Pars. It was kind of confusing because some of them died in the first few episodes, but it's like at the beginning it's just like overwhelming. It's like, who are these people? I don't even know what's going on. But after a while they repeat the names and you kind of like catch on. I thought this anime had a pretty strong plot. It's a little slow at the beginning just because they need to like introduce all the characters and get all their plot events set up to happen and stuff. But not to worry, there is a whole bunch of action and several plot twists, so you gotta love the plot twists. I was very satisfied with the ending. To be honest, the last few episodes like made this anime for me. I did not like it nearly as much before watching the last few episodes, and then after it I was like, yes! I don't know, I just really liked the last few episodes. The ending resolved a good deal of the conflict, but it did leave room for a second season, which is going to happen. I'm very excited for that. And it's just, I don't know. I probably have a biased opinion about this anime because I like the last few episodes so much, and that's kind of like the part that you remember because it happened last. And so, if it's not your cup of tea, I'm okay with that, but I really recommend it. I thought there was a lot of bloodshed in the anime. I mean, there is like a war going on, but I thought a lot of the deaths seemed kind of unnecessary, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It's just kind of the way they kill people is like dramatic, like blood spurts and stuff, and so there's kind of that. Also, There's this one minor character that I didn't really like. I mean, her character herself is okay, it's just her outfit bothered me. I mean, it's kind of immodest, but it's just also really impractical. It's like you're running around and doing stuff, and you just have something like covering the important parts, and it's just kind of, it's like one move, and then boom, you don't have any clothes on. What you gonna do about that? And so it's kind of like, I don't know. I just didn't. Also, there's some black magic involved, so just kind of, that's that. Yeah, that's what that is. This anime kind of has a more serious feel. It's not trying to be a comedy, but there are some pretty funny parts in it. Like, for example, Narcissus' dream is to become, like, a painter. And you never, like, see his paintings, but you see, like, Arslan and Daryun's reactions to them. You'd think he might be going to, like, the abstract, or he's just really not a good painter. Because, like, whenever they look at his paintings, they're just like, what? My eyes? What in the world? And it's just kind of funny because you don't know what they look like. One of my favorite characters in the anime is actually the slave that Arslan gets kidnapped by at the very beginning, and he kind of comes back. I was like, yes, because I liked him. Even though he's on the other side. They kind of meet up every once in a while throughout the anime, like unintentionally and stuff, but he doesn't know that Arslan is the prince, and so he's kind of like, oh, you're just the noble's kid, you know, you're just this snot over there. And he kind of talks to Arslan. He's like, man, that prince, I don't like him at all. He's got like horns growing out of his head and stuff. And it's funny because Arslan's right there, and he's like, you're talking about me, okay. Fans of Full Metal Alchemist should notice immediately the similarity between the two art styles. This is because they were done by the same person. So some people like the similarity and some people don't. I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of fun to have like the different characters look like people on Full Metal Alchemist. For example, Daryun looks like Solf J. Kimbley, except he's not evil, so thank you. It's just kind of up to personal taste. I thought the soundtrack was well written. Most of the songs are kind of like going to war marches, you know, those epic kind of songs that you listen to when you're trying to write a paper. And they also mixed in some traditional sounds, and so I always enjoy it when they do that. Originally a fantasy novel series, the heroic legend of Arslan, or Arslan Senki, was based off a Persian epic. The story was adapted into a manga that ran from 1991 to 1996, and there was also a couple OVAs made for this. And then now we have this new adaptation that is currently has a manga running along with it. There are no fillers in this anime, and the length is 25 episodes, so it's like one season, and it can be watched on Hulu for free. Thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this review, and I hope you really enjoy the show.